Saturday, Mandavasah, April 9th, Navamah Dinankah, Prathama Bhagah, Vyakarana Bhagah. The first part, the grammar section from 2:30 to 4. Let's do the Mangala Charanam. Ramo Rajamanish Sada Vijayate, Ramam Ramesham Bhaje, Ramena Bhiyata Nishacharachamu, Ramaya Tasmai Namaha, Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham, Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bho Rama Mabuddhara, Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane, Shri Rama Nama Varanana Undam Iti. Atha Shri Mahashra Sutrani, Ai Un, Rulruk, E Ong, Ai Auch, Hayavarat, Lany, Nyamanga, Na Nam, Jabain, Garadash, Jabagadash, Kapha Cha 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 Tav, Kapai Sha Sha Sar Hal, Iti Mahashra Sutrani. So last time you're looking at this Vyakaranam, this Pancha Sutri, these 5 rules in Ashtadhyayi, which give the Avya Sanya. Always keep an eye on where we are in Ashtadhyayi. And right now we are in the Sanya Prakaranam, in the time from Saradi Nipatam Avyayam, to Ditascha Sarva Vibhaktihi, Krunme Jantaha, Tvato Sun Kasunaha, Avyay Bhavascha. So we are in this section right now. This is only talking about Avya Sanya, when things get the Avya Sanya. So why do we need Avya Sanya? What do we need to know? Well, the main reason right now for is that Avyayad Apsupaha is following an Avyayam. The sup takes a look. So it is basically just dropped away. You cannot do also any Anga Karim based on that sup because of Nalumata Angasya. So the sup is completely gone. It does not operate also on the Angam in any way because of Nalumata Angasya. So that is the Prayojanam of doing the Avya Sanya. So we are always keep an eye on the Ashtadhyayi. This is a rare knowledge in today's world. So please always keep track of where you are in the Ashtadhyayi. So last time we talked in detail about this first sutram, Swaradi Nipatam Avyayam. Which is a Swaradi Ganaha. There is a thing called Ganapasha. The Ganapasha is an appendage to the Ashtadhyayi. It is a collection of lists, Ganaha, which talks about, when Panini says Swaradi, the words Swara, etc., Swar, etc. So what does Swar, etc. mean? So Ke Shabdaha Griyante Swaradi Gane. So that is all that is given in the Ganapatha. So we in the Sutra document here we have put that Ganapatha for you. So the Swaradi Nipatam Avyayam we talked in detail last time, and so here it is a Swaradi Ganaha, Swaradi Nipatam Avyayam, Swaradi Ganaha. This document is searchable, very user friendly. We also, so the words of Swaradi Ganaha get the Avya Sanya. And then we also talked about the fact that Swaradi Ganaha is what's called Akriti Ganaha. Akritya Ganyate iti Akriti Ganaha, which means that it is not an exhaustive list. If something behaves like an Avyayam, then in that case we can, not we means, according to Shishta Prayogaha, according to authorized usage, we can also add it to Swaradi Ganaha. Okay? So that's called Akriti Ganaha. Now that was Swaradi Ganaha, which directly gives the Avya Sanya. Swar means 7, Swar, etc. There are very common words in here that we went through last time in great detail. Now it also talks about Nipat Sanya. Now Nipatas are a subset of the Avyayas. So every Nipata gets the Avya Sanya, but not vice versa. Nipata, what is Nipata? These are all simple concepts, technical terms. So Nipata starts from Paragrishwaran Nipataha. So anything which is coming in this section from 1456 up to 14, I think it's the word Rishwara, 1497, that is gets the Nipata Sanya. And then once that happens, it also gets the Avya Sanya by Swaradi Nipatam Avyayam. Now we also talked about why not combine these two lists. Why not combine these two lists? Why not take the Swaradi and the Chadayaha and make them one list itself? There are 2-3 reasons for that. One of them is that the Swaradi has the Chadayaha. Chadayo Sattve has a condition or means Asattve. that it should not refer to physical item, physical, thing which has, lingam vachanam, which has some dimensions to it. Like, you see, the word swar itself means heaven, so it is a physical, it is a thing or a place. While in the Chadeyaha, only those things are there which are, if there are different meanings, like a word pashu. Pashu is in the Chadiganaha, so pashu will only be a nipadasanya only when it is asatve, doesn't refer to a beast or an animal. That's number one. Second thing is that we cannot put swar in the Chadiganaha, because then it will lose the nipadasanya, because it will be asatve only. The second thing is that some operations, particularly Vedic swara, will be required only for nipatas. So, in fact, we have, I think, studied one sutram also. When you talk about the pragriya sanya, we're looking at this sanya here. Nipata eka janang. Only nipatas will take this. These kind of nipatas will come under the domain of 1114, eka janang. So if you have ekach nipata, a single letter, vowel nipata, that's a pragriya sanya. So bottom line is that nipata is a subset of the avya sanya. They're not, they say every nipata gets the avya sanya, but those lists, the swaradi and chadis, there is some overlap in there, but they need to be separate, for they can, nipatas can take different operations, which we don't want everything to start taking that. And nipata is the condition also of asatve. So this is just reviewing from last time. Now next, we also introduce the next sutram, which is the today's topic, which is the tadhitascha sarva vibhaktihi. Tadhitascha sarva vibhaktihi. This sutram simply says that if you have a tadhita ghatita prayogaha, a prayoga which is tadhita pratyaya in it. Now why do I say ghatita? Why not tadhita anta? So there are some rare tadhitas which go inside the pratipadikam, so we don't say tadhita anta. Krudantas mostly, when you say krut pratyaya, they will go at the end. So we say krudanta rupam, krudanta. But tadhita, sometimes they don't go at the end, they go in the middle, which we'll see all that later on in detail. So tadhita ghatita prayogaha. So when you have a tadhita used in a prayogaha, and it is one which cannot take all the vibhaktis with it, all 321, 3 times 7, which is the vibhakti vachanam. And then when all are not possible, then it gets the avya sanya. Now this sutram as it stands has some problems, because, and this is what we have put in the document here, is the tadhitascha sarva vibhaktihi. We cannot take it as it is, because if we take it as it is, then there will be some situations where tadhita ghatita prayogaha cannot take all the vibhaktaya vachanani, but is not an anvyayam. For example, the word ubhaya. The word ubhaya is a tadhita ghatita prayogaha. It only is generally declined only in the eka vachane athva bahuvachane. Dvivachanam nasti. But this is not an anvyayam. Not an anvyayam. If we apply strictly the sutram tadhitascha sarva vibhaktihi, then ubhaya will become an anvyayam. We'll have to do supluk after that by avyad ap supaha. We don't want that. So now, in order to, this is just one example. So there are these few examples in which the sutram tadhitascha sarva vibhaktihi doesn't work as it is. So from the Mahabhashyam onwards, the Vyakaranahi vyavasthakrita, called parigananam. Parigananam means, very simply speaking, is that we have to make a list of those tadhita pratyayaha which will generate an anvyayam. As simple as that. So in fact, this is even simpler for us. We don't have to think anymore. We have a list of these which we're going to go through today in detail. We have a list of these tadhita sections which will create an anvyayam. As simple as that. So it's actually a very simple topic in a way. All we're talking about is only enumerating, listing these pratyayas which will create an anvyayam. So that we can do we have done the Subandha Prakaranam in detail. So in addition to that, we need to know which of these pratipadikani will take supluk. So supluk. So because of vyadap supaha. That will complete the section on the subanta. See, in this language there are only 2 kinds of words, which is subantam, tingantam padam. And in the subanta vibhagaha, you have the avyayani also. Okay, because avyayani the only thing is that the sup takes look. That's all. So that's why we're going to the avya section now to see which of these words in the language will take supluk, means the sup pratyaya will be lost, declension will be lost, it will not to be seen afterwards. So now tadhitaha, where does that start from? So today's topic now is sutra number 1138, tadhitascha sarva vibhaktihi. and the prayojanam is to get the avyaya sanya. Now, the adhikara of tadhitaha in the Ashtadhyayi starts from 4,176. Tadhitaha. It goes to the end of the Panchamadhyayaha. So it goes up to the end of 5.4. Now we are going to make and see which of these pratyayas are going to create an avyayam for us. It's an important lesson because we're only going to have 2 lessons for avyayani. Last lesson and this last class and this class. For the rest of your life, you'll be able to come to this Pancha Sutri starting from 1, 1, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. If anything is an avyayam, it must be in one of these 5 sutras. There's really no other way out of it. So even though in the class we cannot take every possible application, give you a very good flavor of it. So let's start with this. So parigananam. So parigananam kartavya means parigananam vina paryaya nasti. There's no other way out. So parigananam is only done when there is really no other way out to use the sutram as it stands. Okay, because there are clearly some problems where, as I said to you, the word ubhaya will become an avyayam if you take the sutram as it is. There are also some other problems, but it's an example of that. So let's start with the parigananam. It's listing. And listing has 6 categories. 6 categories in it. The first one is by far the most important category. These are very, very common words in the language which you encounter all the time. So prasiddhaha shabda, prasiddhani rupani. And this section, please make a note of it. It says tasil adayaha prak pashapaha. Tasil adayaha prak pashapaha. From the pratyaya tasil up to pashap. So where does that go? From where to where does that go? That goes from in 5.3. In 5.3 of Ashtadhyayi. Now bear in mind, we're not going to be deriving this form in detail in the class, because right now all we're trying to do is understand which of these get the avyaya sanya. That's all we're doing in this class. But having said that, these forms are easy to derive. These forms are easy to derive, very easy. If you want to be a little bit adventurous on your own and try a few things, you can. I'll give you in brief. You actually know most of the rules required for the derivation. Only thing is that there are some extra rules in the beginning of 5.3. If you can use these rules at the beginning of 5.3, and also the rules below Tyadadinamaha in 7, we have done Tyadadinamaha. We already used that. But below Tyadadinamaha, there are a couple of other rules here. This Kimakaha also we have done. If you can use Kuti Ho and Kwati. We're just giving you some pointers as to how to derive these words, which is not the topic for today. We'll do it later on in the class, maybe after a year or 2. At that time, we'll remind ourselves that these get the avyaya sanya. But these forms are not hard to derive. They're quite easy. If you want to do it on your own, you can quite easily do it. You will need these couple of rules over here under Tyadadinamaha, and also some rules in the beginning of 5.3. If you can use them and try on your own, and of course, you're welcome to email and see if you have any problems. So in the class today, we will not go through the derivation of these forms. There are easy forms, well-known forms. We're only going to focus on which sections of the Tadhita will give the avyaya sanya. So let's start with this. So tasil, from this pratyaya tasil, from 537, panchamyas tasil, prak pashapaha. That pashap, that comes in 5.3, 40, prak pashapaha. Pashap comes to 5.346. So 537 to 5.346 before pashap. So this is a section which will create avyayani. So please make a note in your Ashtadhyayi book. You want to mark these sections that this is where we create an avyayam. So first section is 537 to 5.346. So let's go through them and see which are the more important ones in there. Important ones in there. The very first one pratyaya is tasil pratyaya. Pratyaya tasil. Tasil pratyaya. Panchamyas tasil. Iti prasiddham sutram. It's a very famous sutram. Like kutaha, yataha, tataha. Kutaha means from where? Kutaha. For this to derive the form kutaha, you will need the sutram in 7.2. Again, that's not what we're doing today, but in case you want to do it on your own, we can use this kuti ho ho, the ku, you'll get ku. kutaha. The pratyaya is tas, and the kim becomes ku by kuti ho. One kutaha. Kuta means from where. Yataha means from which. Tataha means from that. And so on and so forth. These are very famous forms. Now, which terms can take this pratyaya tasil? Panchamya. Let's remind ourselves that also. Can anybody take the pratyaya tasil? The answer is no, because only after kim, sarvanama, bahubhyaha, advyadibhyaha means, so any sarvanama shabda can take this pratyaya, but not from dvi onwards. But kim can also take it. Kim sarvanama bahubhyo advyadibhyaha. So at the end of sarvadini sarvanamani is the list of the dvi adi. So those cannot take these pratyayas. But kim also in that list at the end. So kim can take it, and then all of the sarvanama shabda up to before the dvi. These can take it. So not any pratipadikam can take the pratyaya. But word like yat, tat, sarva, anya, pari, lot of these can take. And the next sutram after that, this is the paryabhibhyancha. So pari and abhi can also take the pari and abhi. So the pratyaya is tasil, panchamya is tasil, and it means in the panchamya means from that generally meaning. Itaha means from here, tataha from there, ataha also from here. Kutaha, because idam and etat have been used over there. So please make a note of this form. This is very used in many places. Now we're not giving too many Gita examples because these are used in many places. Abhito Brahman, it comes in Gita. Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Vijatatmanam. Abhito Brahma Nirvanam. Actually, in Udharan Suchi, thanks to Radha, she's put a lot of good examples here. We have put some examples here also, but these are very common forms. For example, in Gita, here's a form in Gita for you. Yato nischarati manaschanchalamastharam tatastato niyamyetad atmanyeva vashannayet. Yataha, tataha. So they are used in many places. Of course, this is just have to use chadadinamaha, then do ato gune, you can derive the form. The first pratyaya, so that's pratyaya is tasil. This is again just taking like an overview of this section, the first section of the ditas which give the avyayani. Next one is tral. This is tral means saptamyastral. Sense of saptami, sarvatra, kutra, anyatra, atra, yatra, ekatra, amutra. Parthanaivehanam comes in chapter 6 of Gita. Parthanaivehanam mutra vinashastasya vidyate. Amutra means over there in the next life. Sarvatra means everywhere. Kutra means where. Anyatra means elsewhere. Atra means here. Yatra means where, means which in the sense of relative pronoun. Yat is relative pronoun, is relative pronoun. So yatra means where. Ekatra means in one place. Amutra, bahutra means in many places. So this saptamyastral, one of the very common pratyaya, is given avyam. Avyam means that because remember, in tadita, when you have a tadita kati prayogaha, you're going to get the krit tadita samasascha pratipadika sanya. Let's remind ourselves that krit tadita samasascha pratipadika sanya, and then you have to bring in the pratyaya su of just because of the adhikar of nya pratipadika. So this is composed. This is a nitya karyam. So these have to be declined. You have to bring in. So you have, when you form this word like sarvatra, again you have to bring the default pratyaya su, and then use this 2482 avyayad apsupaha, make it supluk. Sup is gone. So doesn't mean doesn't have any sup. It does have a sup pratyaya. Only thing is that it is removed by 2482 avyayad apsupaha luksyat, means it goes away. It is also subantam padam. So this has a padasanya by suptingantam padam after that, because pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. Even though the sup has gone away, it leaves its sign behind as 1162 pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. So this is, it's not correct to say that avyayas have no sup after them. They do have a sup, only sup has taken look, and pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam, they get the padasanya. But that's the second one. Now idamo haha. In that under tral idamo haha, the idam takes a special pratyaya called ha. It becomes iha. So idama saptyam yantat ha pratyaya bhavati. So instead of taking tral, idam takes ha, becomes iha. So, nahi jnanina sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate comes in Gita. Tatsvayam yoga samsiddhah kalena atmani vindati. I think chapter 4, I think it is. So, iha comes in Gita a few places. Iha means here, in this place, here. Simply means here. In fact, it's not, English is all similar, right? Iha and here is a similar pronunciation. So maybe it came from that. It's also the same saptamyas, so in the sense of saptami. Now, then comes kimo. In the same sense comes becomes kwa. Kwa means where. Where. Kvachit means somewhere. Kvachit means somewhere. You can add this chit, which is also an anvayam, to make an idiomatic. Kvachit means also means sometimes, in some place, in some instances. Kvachit. Kvachit. Of course, na kvachit means never. So, kwa means where, simply means where. Now, how do we get the form kwa? We are, I think I mentioned to you just now, is that we have to, because kimah kaha is a Jew that we know, because, but then after that, you use kwati. When the at follows, the kim becomes kwa. Let me remind you one more thing is that this tyadadina maha, kimah kaha, and all these, they only apply vibhaktau parataha. And the vibhakti pratyaya follows. Normally, we know only a sup and ting as vibhakti pratyaya, vibhaktishcha sutram. Vibhaktishcha sutram we know as only the sup and the things. But even these pratyaya which you're looking at right now, they also get the vibhakti sanya. So vibhaktishcha now so far is only sup and thing is called vibhakti pratyaya. But in this section from which you're looking at right now, which is the 531 onwards, Parag disho vibhaktihi. So these also get the vibhakti sanya. Parag disho vibhaktihi. So from 531 to 5327, also that's why you can use tadadina maha, kimah kaha, etc. because these also have the vibhakti sanya. Something to keep in mind if you want to derive these forms. Something to keep in mind. So that was kimo to get the form kwa. Pratyaya da also famous pratyaya. Kada, sarvada, yada, ekada, etc. So these are going to be get the in the sense of time. The sense of time. So sarvada means at all times. Sada also means the same thing. Sarvada. So saptamya iti vartate. Se sarvadibhya pratipadikebhya da pratyaya bhavati. In the sense of time. It also appears in Amvyayam. So sarvada, sada, ekada, anyada, kada, yada, tada. Sarvada means at all times. Sada also same thing. Ekada means at one time. Anyada at another time. Kada means at which time, at what time. Yada means at which time. Tada means at that time. So this is what is the some list of another famous words which gives the avya sanya, sada, etc. So this is da pratyaya. Da pratyaya. Next one is idamo ril. Idamo ril. I'm just kind of basically going through this section and giving you a flavor of which of these gives the avya sanya. Idamo ril. Let's look at that one. Idamo ril. So Ravi, homework for you, Ravi. How do you get the word sarvada, Ravi? You want to try that one? How does sarva become sarvada? Actually, Ravi is on mute today, I think. Okay. Oh, all right. So sarvada is this sarvasya sonyatarasya. Okay. This in case you want to derive the form sarvada, let me give you this sutram also. 1 second. Sarvasya. So okay, if you will require 5, 3, 6 in order to make sarva into saha, to make the sada. Sarvasya sonyatarasya di. Means that, again, don't worry about, if you don't understand this right now, don't worry about these because this is not what we are doing in today's class. But in case you're wondering how sarvada became sada, this sarva takes the sa adeshaha. Optionally, when the pratyaya da follows. So that's 5, 3, 6. Okay, the next one in our listing is the pratyaya, which is the kimoth we got is ril pratyaya, idamo ril, and anadyatane rilantarasya. Okay, so let's look at this one. Let's look at 5.3.16. This 5.3.16 is telling us that saptamyaha idamaha saptamyantat kale vartamana means idam from Padipating idam at this time. pratyaya ril will come and becomes asmin kale etarhi. The word etarhi is coming in asmin kale. To derive this form, you'll need to use 534 to get the form etarhi. If you want to derive that form, this is also the same thing. This is the same in the adhikara of this kale. We are down here right now, which is the kale da idamo ril. So this is what is coming here, and also anajjatane ril anjatarasyam. So this is the same in the same meaning. Etarhi is means at this time. At this time. Now you also get the form yarhi, tarhi is also anajjatane, which is not of today. So at which time? At that time, but not of today. So kim sarvanama bahubhyaha saptamyantebhyaha. Anajjatane means not referring to today's time, so not of today. Kala visheshe in sense of time. Vartamanebhyaha til pratyaya bhavati anyatarasyam asnali. So karhi or kada, at what time? But karhi can be used only when it's not of today. Yarhi, at which time? Tarhi, at that time. So this is the pratyaya ril, which also creates an avyayam. And then the word adhuna. Sometimes Panini has a single sutram just for one word. Just for one word. So eka shabda siddhyartham. Ekasya eva prayogartham. So eka prayogartham, I should say. You can have a sutram. This word adhuna. Adhuna is a word like that, which means, of course, adhunika means modern. Adhuna means at this time. Nipatyate. So the word adhuna is given nipataha. So this means at this time. So from idam, this adhuna comes as a ready-made form, adhuna. These are very, very useful words. You can start using in the language very fast. Increase your vocabulary, your speaking skills, and you don't have to worry about bringing in the sup. I mean, you have to worry about declining them because supluk is going to take place. Okay. Then comes the word danim. Danim is 5318 and 5319. 5318, 5319. So one more just to remind you, we are going through the list of taditya khatita prayogaha which create avyayani. And parigananam kartavyam, because we have to make a list of these. So idam, we also the word danim. So idanim. So adhuna and idanim both mean at this time, at the present time. So that will also create an avyayam. Adhuna, idanim. Next sutram also, tadanim also like that. Tadanim. Because we said at that time. So 5319 will give that. Tadaha saptamyantat kale vartamanat da pratyaya bhavati chakara danim cha. Tasmin kale tada. Tadanim at that time. Idanim at this time, tadanim at that time. Pratyaya is danim. This is danim. Now after that, so these are all avyayani. That's the whole projanam of today's discussion, is that to give you a preview, kind of a summary of the word which take avyaya sanya. Now the next one is 5322 is that etani rupani nipatyante. Miss Panini gives ready-made forms for us to use because there's no point spending too many rules to derive these forms. So Panini economizes and gives us ready-made forms. Here are some forms, which is he gives sadhyaha, parutta, and so on. Number of forms again 5322. Some of them are very useful. By the way, in all of these words, you can use apte to get the meanings. Sadhyaha, like of course, sadhyo jatam, so sadhyo jatam, right? One who's born instantaneously. Sadhyas means instantaneously. Sadhyas. So if you want to get the meaning of some of these words, you can look in apte with sadhyas. Sadhyas means instantaneously, the same day, instantly, forthwith, immediately. So sadhyas is given as a ready-made form by Panini in the Sutram 5322, among others. Adya. Adya means at this, today now, adya. And then purvedyuhu means on a prior day, the prior day. Anyedyuhu, on a different day. Itaredyu, same thing. Uttaredyuhu. Uttaredyuhu means on a following day, the later day, uttaredyuhu. So these are also avyayani, which which are given in the sense in this. How about the word parut? So word parut is also this given in this list of these words. That parut is not that common, means in the prior year. Parut means in the prior year. Parut. Let's see what uptake is for parut. So this is also a list of ready-made forms given by Panini in 5.3.22, which are very useful to use, and they have the avya sanya. Means last year. Parut means last year. Parut. Now comes the next pratyaya, which is now let me put the Ashtadhyayi in front of your eyes one more time. So we started with the pratyaya tasil. We talked about the pratyaya tral. Tasil is panchamyas tasil. Then panchamyas tasil. Then saptamyas tral. We talked about the pratyaya ha, make the word iha. We got kva pratyaya in the form. So for the pratyayat making the form kva. Then we got in the kaleda, so yada, tada, kada, sarvada, anyada, etc. Idamo ril, etarhi at this time. Then the word adhuna and idanim we got from these two. These are all very, very simple rules. There's nothing special in these rules. Very straightforward. Nothing really, unlike, there's no derivation involved in these. Very straight. The good thing about tadhitas is that there's good news and a bad news. The good news is that these forms are mostly easy to derive. They are easy to derive, easy. They don't have many steps in the derivation. But the hard thing is that there are more than 1,000 rules, not for avyayas, but the entire Tadhita section has more than 1,000 rules. And even after that, we don't get all the forms. So the difficulty is in finding the sutram really, and once you find it, then to complete the steps is easy. So the more sections you grab of the Ashtadhyayi that you know, it's like a monopoly game, The more sections that you know, so adhika parichaya asti chet adhika labha. You get to know, you can traverse with more confidence. So we've got the word adhuna, the word idanim, also tadanim. Then we got the ready-made form sadhyaha, adhya, purvedyu, uttaredyu, etc. Now comes prakara vachane thal. Prakara vachane means pratyaya thal comes. Prakara vachane. So what does this mean? Let's look at the word itham. Yatha. Yatha means yena prakarena. In which way? Prakara vachane thal. Also, any new sutram, the best thing that you can do is repeat every sutram 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 times. Prakara vachane thal. They have the power to give you the knowledge of Vyakaranam jnanam, like nothing else can give you. Nothing else can give you that, like the Paninehe Sutrani. So prakara vachane thal means yena prakarena means yatha. Then tena prakarena means tatha, sarvatha. Same thing. Anyena prakarena anyatha, ubhayatha, in both ways, in every way. And prakara vachane thal, pratyaya thal is used. Let's look at the vritti of that. 5.23. Again the same. Kim sarvanama bahubhyaha, advyadibhyaha. Let me just also tell you this. What is Kim Savanama Bahubhya? We already talked about that, but since it is being used repeatedly here, let's look at that. See, this is the Sarvadi Ganaha. What we call in English as pronouns. What we call in English as pronouns, roughly speaking. Sarvadini Sarvanamani. That ends in at the end of that Sarvadi Ganaha, we have this Eka Dvi. It's a list. It's a list of 35 terms. Sarvadi is a list of 35 terms. Eka, Dvi, Yushmad, Asmad, Bhavatu, Kim. So Sarvadi Ganaha ends with these words, which is Eka, Dvi, Yushmad, Asmad, Bhavatu, and Kim. Now in these section which have been talking about, this section, it says, Panini says that we can use these pratyayas after the Kim, Sarvanama, Bahubhyaha, Advyadibhyaha. Advyadibhyaha. So you can use them after Sarvanama Shabdaha, but not the ones Dvi onwards. Which are they? Which is this Dvi, Yushmad, Asmad, Bhavatu, Kim. But Kim can be used again. So Kim is put back over there. So Kim can be used, means the pratyas can be used after Kim and any Sarvanama Shabdaha, but not these basically. Not Dvi, Yushmad, Asmad, Bhavatu. Barring these four. Others can take these pratyas. So I want to just make it clear to you what Panini is talking about. So Kim Savanama Bahubhya. and the word bahu also can be used to take this, can take this pratyaya. Bahu also can take these. So, okay, so we got the word prakara vachane thal. Pratyaya thal is used to create the word yatha, tatha, sarvatha, anyatha, ubhayatha, and we get the avyaya sanya by 1138, which is taditascha sarvabhaktihi, and avyadap supaha 2482 suplokha. Now, idam asthamu 2324 is the word idam, which is the pratyaya thamu, become itham, and katham, and kimascha. So the form itham and katham, this form means in itham means anena prakarena, in this manner. Katham means kena prakarena, in what manner. So that is 5324, 5325, itham and katham. Now the next one is that, in fact, if you want to derive these forms, we'll have to do a little bit of work, and let's see, itham, idama, ish, eto, okay, thamu. So you have to use, I think this one, if you want to derive this form on your own, you have to use this one 534 for itham. You have to use the sutram 534 to derive the form itham, in case you want to derive it on your own. Now, the next pratyaya we're looking at is this one, which is the dik shabdebhyaha saptami panchami prathamabhyaha digdesha kaleshvastatihi. जो प्रत्यय अस्ताति, like purastat, adhastat. What is the purastat means? Can be what? It can mean dig shabdebhya, in the direction. Dig shabdebhya. In following a word which means direction. The pratyaya astati can come in what meanings? The sense of dig desha kaleshu. To refer to that direction or that location or that time. Dig desha kaleshu. In the sense of saptami, panchami, prathama. So example is purastat, means purastat vasati. So he lives in a direction which is ahead, purastat vasati. Purastat agataha. He has come from the front, he has come. Purastat agataha. Purastat ramaniyam. It is wonderful, it is very scenic, beautiful, ahead. So it can be in the front, from the front, can mean the front, it can be a direction or a place or a time. So this pratyaya astati, like purastat, adhastat, they also can be used after digvachaka shabdaha, and also create an avyayam. So that's 5327. Again, we're going through a long list today, so don't worry if you don't digest all of this. You'll come back to this when we study this pratyayas in detail. But I just wanted to give you one overview and go through this section at least briefly, because they are very well-known forms that can be, very useful when you want to speak or when you want to read also. Now next is atasush pratyaya. Let's look at this is the next sutram 5328. What is again this dakshina uttara? So after these two words dakshina and uttara, in the same meaning that we saw before, you can get the first pratyaya atasuch. Dakshinataha vasati. So dakshinataha. So he uttarataha. So north and south. So he lives in the south. He has come from the south. Dakshinataha agataha. Dakshinataha ramaniyam. It is very wonderful, very beautiful in the south. So the south is beautiful. So this kind of, again, dakshinataha, uttarataha. Then comes this para and avara can also take pratyaya. So it can say parataha, and also it can mean avarataha, parataha, avarataha. So this is also another usage. So dakshinataha, parataha. So parataha means even this gets a good usage in Gita. I think we have it in the Udharan Suchi. Do I have it here? Parataha. So Gita Shloka 3.42. So look at Gita 3.42. Superior. 3.42. Superior. So I'm sorry, 3 from the wrong place. Gita 3.42. Gita 3.42. Okay, 3.42 in Gita. I'm sorry. 3.42. Indriyani paranyaho. Indriyabhyah param manaha. Manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. Parataha. So one who is supreme to buddhi also. Buddhe paratastu saha. Beyond buddhi. Beyond or superior. Beyond. So again the same kind of meaning. So parataha, which means that, and so avarataha means below or inferior. So parataha, avarataha. These also words can be formed in those same meanings, which is parataha, he lives in a place which is beyond, or he has come from beyond, or beyond over there. It is very beautiful. These are examples that Kashika gives. So yo buddhe paratastu saha. So that which is beyond buddhi. Example in Gita, a lot of these words are coming in Gita, a lot of them. So not giving too many examples here. Yes.
Satishji,
Uh-huh.
Even though they look like tasav, they are not tasav. And is there a reason why it is panchamyatham?
No, tasil comes only in panchamyatha only.
This also looks like panchamyatha, right?
Not only panchami. This is panchami, saptami also is coming here. We looked at the sutra which you saw. Says saptami, panchami, prathama also can be used here. And dig desha kaleshu. So in this different thing. Also remember the panchamya tasil is only after kim, sarvanama and bahu. Okay? But this is after any digvachaka shabda can take this one. Digvachaka shabda. So they're not exactly the same. You have to be careful. The form looks similar. Because it is parastat, the form looks like, so this one is the atasuch pratyaha. It looks similar, atas looks similar, but it comes only after dakshina and uttara, and para and as. So different prakriti can take it. You can mute the best, mute yourself best. So
when it is said tasila dishu, it includes the other pratyaya also.
yeah, no, tasil, etc. As I said, the list you're talking about the first category, right? That includes all the way from the 53 up to 5346. So all these, all
yeah.
equal in that. Yes. So
it's just like pradi. It is tasiladi.
It's a section basic section. So I'm just going through this and telling you which one is coming in the section. Which are the main ones in that section that we need to know. So this pratyaya atasuch comes, and parataha comes in Gita. Dakshinataha, uttarataha, parataha. They can be in a sense of saptami, panchami, or prathama. It can be in a sense of dig, desha, kala, direction, place, or time. So parataha can be beyond in time, beyond in direction, beyond place. It can be in that place, from that place, just that place. Could be a time also, at a time beyond, so on. Now the next one is that astate luk pratyaha. Now, what with this dhatu anchu, we derive this form anchu in the sense of going. So prak, so pratyak, so prak means which is earlier or eastern. Pratyak means western. So after that also this in the sense, the same sense, just dig, desha and kala, in the sense of saptami, panchami, prathama. We take look. So anchati antebhyaha, dik shabdebhyaha. So I'm sorry, only dik shabdebhyaha, uttarasya astati pratyasya luk bhavati. So prak vasati, prak agataha, prak ramaniyam. So he lives in the east, or he's come from the east. So these words ending in the pratyaya anchu, which you see some of these before, like prak, pratyak, etc. And so they will take the look in the sense of this meaning of panchami, saptami, or the prathama. Here's another section, another small sutram here. Then comes in the same thing comes ril and rishtat, upari uparishtat. So Panini gives two ready-made forms, upari uparishtat. Upari means up, above or higher. Upari uparishtat. These are ready-made forms given to you in that same. So upari uparishtat iti etausham nipatyate. Ready-made forms. Upari uparishtat. Astate rarthe. It's urdhva. From urdhva, you get this from upari and uparishtat, the ready-made forms. So means that which is in a place above, from above, just means above. So these are two ready-made forms, upari uparishtat. Then the form paschat. Paschat means from the back, at the back. So it means in the back, from the back, just means back or later. Back or later also it can mean. So back, paschat means later or back. This is paschat ityam nipatyate astati arthe. So it comes the same thing. And then comes the, so these upari, uparishtat and paschat, ready-made forms given to us. Now, another sutram, it says, purva adhara avaranam asi. So it's these purva, adhara and avara takes the pratyaya asi. And they take the adeshas, pura, dhava, pura, dhavaschaisham. Let's look at examples. So, like puraha. Purohitaha, right? Purohitaha. The puras means in front. So it becomes puraha, and then becomes adhaha and avaha. So these forms are coming over here. So adhoramaniyam avovasati. So puraha means in front. Adha means below. Adha means below. So you can get these forms puras, adhas, and avas. These are also in these three vibhaktis, which is, the Saptami, Panchami, and the Prathama, you can get. Again, we're not going in full detail in all these sutras, so just giving you an overview. If you want to study them in detail, look at the vritti of each sutram and look at the conditions for each. We're just giving you a flavor for what is there. So Puraha and Adhaha and Avaha also from the sutram 5339. Now comes the next pratyaya, which is Sankhyayaha Vidarthe Dha. Like Ekadha, Dvidha, Tridha, Chaturdha. So it comes in Gita, like eightfold in Gita, right? Vinna Prakriti Rashtadha. So it comes in Gita in chapter 7, Chaturtha Shlokaha, Bhumirapo Nalo Vayuhu, Khammano Buddhirevacha, Ahankara Iti Yamme Vinna Prakriti Rashtadha. So Ashtadha means eightfold. It is in 8 ways. Prakriti is eightfold Prakriti. Ashtadha. So in 8 ways, you say eightfold. Sometimes English might also work. This pratyaya is dha. It says sankhyayaha vidharthe dha. Sankhyayaha vidharthe dha. Sankhyayaha vidharthe dha. So that means that it is the in 1 way, in 2 ways, in 3 ways. So it is the Prakriti is in 8 ways. Ashtadha Prakriti. It's eightfold or in 8 ways. That is the means. But it's also famous pratyaya. Ekadha, Dvidha, Tridha, Chaturdha. Then same thing, come Edha Cha. This is the last one in this category. And we have not taken all of them. I'll giving you the main ones. It says that after Dvi and 3, they can pratyaya, this Dha can take the adesha of Edha. You come Dvedha or Tredha. Tredha Nizhe Padam comes in the Veda, right? Tredha Nizhe Padam in the Vamanavataraha. Vishnu Bhagavan, he stepped in 3 ways, in 3 places. So Tredha Nidade Padam. So there are different ways. So these are also instead of, you can also get the word Dvedha and Tredha, in addition to Dvidha and Tridha. So that ends this section. So one more time, it's a very, very important section, which is from many important usages, and they all get the Avyaya Sanya. We went through this today because from Panchamya Tasil, and then we get the Pratyaya Tral we saw Idamo Haha. We have skipped some ones in between, the minor ones. And then we saw the word for Iha, then we saw Kwa, then we saw the Kale Daha, Sarvada, Ekada, Anyada, Kada, Yada, Tada. Then we saw Etarhi, then we saw Aduna, Idanim, Tadanim, in the sense of time, at that time, at this time. Then we saw the this one about Yarhi, Tarhi, we saw this one, Anadjatane, Zilanitrasyam. Then we saw Sadhyaha, Adya, Purvedyuho, Uttaredyuho, and so on. These are Nipatanani, Nipataha, I should say. Not Nipata, I should say Nipatyante, ready-made forms. Then Prakara Vachane, Thal, Yatha, Tatha, and then Itham we saw. Then Katham, the word Katham we also saw, Kimas Thamuho. So as you can see, the very, very popular words, Astatihi, so Purastat, etc. We saw this kind of Dakshinataha, Uttarataha. Then Parataha we saw in Gita. We saw Prak, Pratyak. Then Upari, Uparishtat, above, Paschat, later at the back. Then we saw this one, some of these we skipped in between. They're not that common. And then Sankhyayaha Vidharthe Dha, Dvidha, Tridha, Chaturdha, Ashtadha. Then we also saw the Edha Cha, which is from Dvi and Tri. We got Dvidha, Dvedha and Tredha. So so please keep this section in mind from 537 to 5346, a very important section. Tasiladaya Prakpashapaha. Tasiladaya Prakpash is the first section. This is by far the most important one. From Tasil up to Pashap. The second category is this one from Shastrabhritayaha Prak Samasantebhyaha. Shastrabhritayaha Prak Samasantebhyaha. From 5442 to 5467. So Shastrabhritayaha. So 5442 to 5467. Because from 5468 starts Samasantaha. Samasan is an adhikara from goes here. So that is a completely different topic. What happens at the end of compounds. So the Avyaya section is only from 5442 from Shas up to the 5467. We will not take a look at all of them because some of them are not very common at all, and of course we don't have a limited amount of time in the class. But you should, in your Ashtadhyay book, mark this section from 5442 to 5467, because those will be the Avyayani. And of course, Avyaya means Avyadap Supaha. Again, Avyadap Supaha is not the only operation. There will be more. For the time being, it's by far the most important one for us, Avyadap Supaha. Okay, let's look at some of these now. So, Shastatyaha, 5442. Bhavalpartha Shas Karakad Anyatarasyam. Anything in the sense of Bahu or Alpa means a lot or little. Any Karaka. He says Bahuni Dadati. He gives Bahusha Dadati. Means he gives a lot. Bahusha Dadati. Then Alpam Dadati, Alpasha Dadati. He gives very little he gives. So and so on and so forth. Bahubhir Dadati. So he gives with many. Then he says Bahubhya Dadati. He gives unto many people or few people. So basically in the sense of Bahu or Alpa, you can use this Pratyaya Shas in any Karaka. He gives a lot, he gives a little, he gives too many, he gives to many people, to very few people, and so on. Now, this is not a very common one. The next one is more common, which is Sankhyaika Vachanacha Vipsayam. Let's look at that one, because that one is more common than this one. It's from the Sankhya Vachibhya Pradipadekabhyaha. Sankhya Vachika Shabda, if you have, Ekashaha, Trishaha, Sahasrashaha, means by the hundreds, by one, Ekashaha, one by one, Ekashaha, Ekashaha. Ekavachana cha Vipsayam. So one after the other, one by one. So Ekasha Dadati. So he gives one by one. So Dvau Modakau Dadati. He gives two modakas, means he gives Dvisha Dadati. So Trisha Dadati means he gives modakas 3 at a time. Three, he gives 3 after 3 after 3 after 3, that's like that he gives. Comes in Gita, Shatashota Sahasrashaha. So hundreds at a time, So comes in Gita 11.5. Pratyaya Shas comes in Gita 11.5. That is that. Paschame Patha Rupani Shatashota Sahasrashaha. So this is the Vishwarupa Darshanam. So, oh Arjuna, see my forms. 100 by 100 by 100 by 100. Hundreds. 100 at a time. 100 after 100. 100 after 100. Sahasrashaha. 1000 after 1000. Basically innumerable, but Shatashaha, Sahasrashaha. So Sankhya Vachaka Shabdaha is being used over here. And this 5443. Vipsaya, means repetition. So 100 after 100 after 100. So, 1,000 by 1,000 by 1,000. So this one you will see it comes in Gita, Sanchayika Vachanacha Vipsayam. Now, that is one. Now the second one which you might encounter, again we cannot take them all but give you the more important ones, is this Tasi. This is a Vartikam under 5444. It's a very important Vartikam in Ashtadhyaya. What does the Vartikam say? Adyadibhya upasankhyanam. The pratyaya Tasi can be used after the words Adi etc. And it can be, didn't say, it can be used in basically to stand for any vibhakti. So Adyadibhya upasankhyanam means this Aditaha means Adau. Aditaha. This is what is called as the Sarvabhaktika Tasihi. Sarvabhaktika. Sarvabhaktika Tasihi. Means that it can stand for any vibhakti. And this is a very idiomatic Tasi, which can be used after pretty much on the Shishta Prayagaha for any Pratipadikam in any vibhakti. So when Tasil is used, in any vibhakti like that, like Jnanataha, Jnanataha Vastutaha, Vidyataha, Vidyataha Shreshtaha. So he is the best from the standpoint of, in the matter of heroism, he is the best. Vidyataha. From Vastutaha, Jnanataha, Namataha, Aham Satishaha. So by name, I am Satisha by name. So Namataha. This is what is called as the Sarvabhaktika Tasihi. Sarvabhaktika Tasihi means that you hear the expression being used in the commentaries also. When you read the commentaries, you will hear the expression Sarvabhaktika. Sarvabhaktika means it can be used as Tasi, which comes from this Vartikam, Adyadibhya Upasankhyanam. It's a Vartikam under 5444. Please make a note of this, is that this is a Tasi, because Panchamyas Tasil, which you saw earlier, it only is Panchamyas. And that too, only after Kim Savanama Bahubhya. We already talked about that. So that was the Tasil which you saw earlier. This one is a Vartikam which says that it can be used in any Vibhakti. It doesn't say in Vibhakti. And pretty much doesn't say which Padipadikam either. So when you want to use this idiomatic Tasil, this is a very Tasi Pratyaya. Tasi. So Sarva Vibhaktikaha Tasiham. Aditaha means Adau, in the beginning. It will also mean from the beginning also. Aditaha. So Aditaha, Gataha, Shatam Gataha. So from the beginning, 100 shlokas have gone past. You can say that. Shatam Shlokaha Gataha. It's 100 have gone from the beginning. So Madhyataha means in the middle. Jnanata, I said, from knowingly, or from the point of view of knowledge. Vidyataha, Namataha. So this Tasi is an important Vartikam. Make a note of it. It's been Avyam also. Then comes the Pratyaya Chvi. This Pratyaya Chvi is actually a 0. Because of what? Because of, all the sutras now, so you should be able to, which is the Upadesha Jananasika It, Chutu, and then Virapuktasya. So the Ikara goes by Upadesha Jananasika It, the Chakara by Chutu, and the Vakara by Virapuktasya. Virapuktasya. So everything is gone. So we look, the Upadesha Jananasika It, for the Ikara is gone. Then by Chutu, 137, the Chakara, Adi Chakara is gone. Gone means it's Sanya, Tasya Lokaha. And then Virapuktasya, only Vakara is left behind, and that goes away by the Virapuktasya. So that is gone. So Chvi is a 0. I mean, what meaning is Chvi being used? This is also very important. This is important Pratyaha. What is being Chvi is being used? Abhuta Tadbhave, Trubhvasti Yoge, Sampandyakartari Chvi. I mean, let me make give an easy explanation for this. Is that something which was not that is becoming that. So making something which was not that into that. Like Spashtikaranam, Shuklikaranam, Shukli Bhavati, means that Spashtikaranam, something which was not clear, is making clear. Spashtikaranam. Shuklikaranam, which means that something which was not white is being made white. Shukli Bhavati, something which was not white is now white. So now this Pratyaya Chvi comes, which is a 0, comes under the condition Krubhvasti Yoge. it has to be used in conjunction with kru, bhu or as. Krubhasti yoge, pratyaya chvi. Now, this when it has to be used almost like an upasarga kind of, but remember, upasarga is only the pradayaha kriya yoge. To also refresh our memory from the last class, we looked at the pradayaha, and when they are kriya yoge, you get the upasarga sanya by upasarga kriya yoge, 1459. And then gatischa, there's a gati sanya which includes all the upasargaha and also other terms. Now here we have uryadi chvi dachascha. When you add this pratyaya chvi, which is a 0, the entire samudaya now gets the gati sanya, and they can be prefixed to verbs, similar to, not verbs, only to kru, bhu, as, because the chvi came under the condition that kru, bhu or as has to be used with it. Again, if you don't understand all of this, don't worry about it. We're going to come back to this when we study this in detail. Right now, the focus is that when we add this chvi, which is a 0, it gets the avyaya sanya. And because avyaya supaha, the sup will take look after that. But if you want to just study a little bit further, this chvi, when it's added, gets the gati sanya. Uryadi chvi dachascha. And then we can use them like upasargas because these are the gati sanya. Because at the end of the section, Panini says, te parag dhatoho. They go before a dhatu. As I mentioned to you, the chvi was only coming in the condition of using it with the kru, bhu, as. So spashti karoti. Spashti karoti means he makes it clear. Makes it clear. So this is now, where does spashti come from? Shukli. Where is the ikara coming from? That sutram is asya chvav. Asya chvav is an angakaryam. Asya chvav. If you have a adantam angam, and then adantam prat is become, and then followed by the pratyaya chvi, then this one asya, angam, angachadikara, excuse me, asya chvav. If you have avarnantam, asya is shashti bhakti ekvajam of avarnasya. So then in place of that avarnaha, you get the ikaraha. So 7432, that shuklikaranam, spashtikaranam, vishadikaranam, all these, that ikara which you're seeing over there, your sutram asya chva by 7432. Again, don't worry about too many details, but that is, in case you're wondering how that ikara is coming, that is what's going on there. Sutram is asya chva. So 7432 asya chva. Asya chva brings in that ikaraha. So avarna, some typos here. Avarnantasya angasya chva parataha ikara adesha bhavati shukli bhavati. So this is a pratyaya called chvi. It is a tadita pratyaya. It is prescribed in 5450. It creates an avyayam, and then the entire thing gets the gati sanya by uryadi chvi dachascha, and they will be used with the dhatu kru, bhu and as. You can use the lakara form, you can use the krudanta form. Of course, if the krudanta form is used, you will get the compound formation. Tingantas will not compound. And then sutram asya chvav, which we saw, we make the ikaraha, ivarnaha. When you have the avarnantam angam, you get the ikaraha. One more thing I want to quickly, while you're doing all this, let me just tell you one more thing, is that if you can also get the 7426, when 12 follows, you can get the ajantasyangasya dirgha bhavati. Like shuchi karoti, shuchi bhavati. He makes it pure. So shuchi, if it's a ajantamangam, it becomes dirgha. Shuchi karoti, shuchi bhavati, shuchi syat, patu karoti. This is just on the side I'm mentioning. 7426 chvaucha. If you have an ajantamangam, then it will become dirgha. So that's the pratyaya chvi, which is a 0, which is used in the senses of to make something which was not that before. Now the pratyaya is sati, kartsne. This comes in Gita. Yathedhamsi samidho nirbhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Very famous shloka of Gita. Jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Bhasmasat, agnisat means to completely turn into something else. Katsneham. So, he said, so, yadi prakritihi kutsnam vikarat smatam apadyate etar. Means to reduce it to that, to completely reduce it or transform it to something. So, yathedhamsi samidho nir comes in Gita, bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. So, just like fire reduces firewood into ashes, similarly, knowledge reduces all actions into ashes. That is the Gita of the Pratyasati, 4.37, Pratyasat, Pratyasat. This is also in the same sense, so it completely turns it into, I'm sorry, put in the wrong place again. Excuse me. So, Pratyasati, 437. Sati. So, Bhasmasat, Kurute Arjuna, Bhasmasat. So, that Pratyasati also you will see used once in a while. So, not very common. But so, this is a section for second category. So, the second category for some shas up to samasantebhyaha. We've taken only 2 or 3 examples from this because these are not very common. So we saw the pratyaya shas from the sahasrashaha, shatashaha in Gita. We saw that means 100 by 100, 1,000 by 1,000, ekashaha, 1 by 1, and 1 after 1. Then abhutatadbhave krubhasti yoge sampadhyakatri chvihi, means something becomes there which wasn't there before, shuklikaranam, spashtikaranam, shuchikaranam. Then we also saw this pratyaya, which is the sati pratyaya we saw. Just taking 3 examples from here. There are some others here that are not that common, so I want to give you just 3 of them from this section. The second section, one more time, is going from this 5442 up to 5467. Now the third section, I said the first section is by far the most important. The first section, by far the most important. This was the second section. Third section is the and pratyaya. The is only chandasi. Only chandasi. So the pratyaya has no application word. This is only a small, these 2 pratyayas, and 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 they're 5, 4, 11, 5, 4, 12. And the is only chandasi. So forget about for a time, we don't need it, it's only in the Veda. Again, the pratyaya is used sometimes, is kim etad, kim et ting avyaghad amu adarva prakarsheya. What is this gha? What is gha? This tarap and tamap get this anya gha. I'm taking a little bit of a tour right now because this gha is again a sanya which Panini gives to the pratyas tarap and tamap, what he called as the comparative degree and the superlative degree. The comparative and superlative degree. So when after adding tarap or tamap, of course halantyam, so only tara and tama. After that, this can be used. Can be used. Or it can also can be used after an avyayam. So let's look at the sutram. We're looking at this section from 5.4.11 now. 5.4.11. 5.4.11. So kim etat ting avyayad ghadam adar prakarshe. It should not be a uchchais taram, uchchais tamam. Means uchchai means high. Uchchais taram means very highly. Uchchais tamam means very high, means most highly. Sutaram, nitaram means definitely, surely. So let's look at 5.4.11 for a second. So only this third category is only and amu and amu. The is only in Veda, and the let's look at amu. This one is so kim ekarantat tingantat avyabhyascha yo vihito ghaha. So kim et ting avyaghaha. You can get this forms. Uchchaistaram, kin taram. So these kind of Pachati, it also comes tingantam also. Like Pachati Taram. Pachati means somebody cooks. Pachati Taram means he cooks better. Pachati Tamam means he cooks very well, cooks the best. So these this pratyaya, this basically it comes out to be Tara and Am, Taram and Tamam. So this is so Sutara, Nitaram, Sutaram, Uchchaistaram. So these can be used sometimes. Sutaram, Nitaram is definitely, surely. Uchchaistaram means very highly or most highly. But Adharva Prakarshe should not be an adjective to, some material thing. It mostly will be adverb types. So Adharva Prakarshe, Adravya Prakarshe. Okay, so it's just again not very common pratyaya, but you can find it once in a while. So that's the pratyaya amu. The fourth category is the krutva sucha. So this is also comes in Gita. Look at for 1 second. It's 5.4.17 to 5.4.20. 5.4.17 to 5.4.20. 5.4.17. Sankhyayaha. After sankhya vachaka shabdaha. Kriya bhya vritti ganane. Repetition. How many times you do something. So kativaram. How many times? Krutva sucha. Of course, halankyam upadesha ajjanunasika. So krutwas. Not to be confused the word with the twa pratyaya. Krutva. Krutva is dhatu kru and the pratyaya ktva. This one is completely different. This krutva. This is a sadhya pratyaya which comes after sankhya vachak shabdaha in sense of how many times. So kriya bhya vritti ganane means how many times you repeat an action. That's the pratyaya called krutva sucha. Anubandhalope kritvasya. So sankhya shabdebhyaha kriyabhya vritti ganane vartamanebhyaha swarthya kritvasya pratyaya bhavati. And paunaf punyam abhya vritti. Abhya vritti is paunaf punyam means you do again and again. Repetition. So it says that now the thing is that after 5.4.17, there's some special rules for number 2 and number 3 and number 4. Pratyaya such comes. And for Eka becomes Sakrit. So this 5.4.17 only apply from the number 5 onwards. Because for 2, 3 and 4, Dvit Tri Chaturbhya Such. When you do puja, Dvirachamya, Tirachamya, Trif Prokshya, when the priest says in the puja time, Dvir Achamya means 2 times, having done Achamanam 2 times. Trif Prokshya means having sprinkled water 3 times. Pratyaya Sucha, of course, Halankyam Upadesh Ajunanasikait, Sakara Vashishya says Dvihi. Trihi, so Dvihi means 2 times. Trihi means 3 times, and so on. So now, that's 5.4.18. So 2, 3 and 4, Sutam 5.4.18 is special rule for them. And for Eka Sakrit, so Eka becomes Sakrit. So Sakrit means 1 time. Sakrit means 1 time, Sakrit. Asakrit means many times, of course. So so this one, Tir Bhungte, and so this is the 2, how many times you do. So we have 5.4.17 Krutva Such, Pancha Krutvaha, Shata Krutvaha, Sahasra Krutvaha comes in Gita. Sahasra Krutvaha comes in Gita. So otherwise for the 3, 2, 3, 4, Pratyaya Such is given. Chatur Bhuktam, Tir Bhuktam, he eats 4 times. Tir Bhungte, he eats 4 times. Sakrut Bhungte, he eats 1 time. But in Gita, Sahasra Krutvaha comes in 11.39. So next time you chant Gita, think of this sutram, this Pratyaya Krutva Sucha. It comes, I think, only in one place in the Gita. I think it comes from Sankhyayaha Kriyabhya Vritti Ganane Krutva Sucha. Sankhyayaha Kriyabhya Vritti Ganane Krutva Sucha. And the shloka in Gita is 11.39 Krutva Such Pratyaya in Gita, 11.39 Krutva Such. 11.39 Krutva Such, which is Namo Namastya Su Sahasra Krutvaha, Sahasra Krutvaha. Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. So salutations to you again and again, 1,000 times. And again salutations to you again, namaste. So namo namaste sahasrakritvaha, sahasravaram, 1,000 times, 1,000 times. So panchakritvaha and so on. So that's this section for the pratyaya kritva such and the meanings and those in the same meaning, which is this dvihi, trihi, chatur, and sakrit. Also 5, 4, 20 is less common, but 5, 4, 17, 18, 19, 20, out of which 5, 4, 17, 18, 19 are the more common ones. So it is kritva such and those in the meaning of kritva such. So that was the fourth section. The fourth section. Yes, kritva such pratyaha, kritvarthaha. So kritvas, kritvarthaha. So those pratyaya in the meaning of kritva such, which is 5, 4, 17, 18, 19, 20, out of which 5, 4, 17, 18, 19 are the more common ones. Okay. Now comes the fifth category. This tasi and vati. Now this tasi is used in a very specific meaning which is not that common. So let's skip that one because that's only these two rules 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, which is not that common. Ekadik. So this meaning is not that common. So we leave that one. But the pratyaya vati, this comes in, and we have a good example in the Gita. I think Radha put an example in the Gita. Shatruvat. It's an adverb. When somebody does an action, like something else, like comes in Gita, right? So you have Shatruvat. So anatmanastu shatrutve, varte tatmam shatruvat, uddhare datmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet, atmaiva yatmano bandhur atmaruparatmanaha, bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jataha. Then the second line, that is, anatmanastu shatrutve, varte tatmaiva shatruvat. So atma eva shatruvat varteta. So your own self would act like your own enemy. So shatruvat vartate. So he acts, atma acts like an enemy. So this is the pratyaya vati. Vati is not vatup. It's pratyaya vati. Don't confuse these two. Vatup will not get amvyayam. Like the word bhagavat will become bhagavan. It will be declined. So vatup is the pratyaya. Matup is there. That matup becomes vatup. But that is not this one. That's not the one here. We're talking about pratyaya vati. Pratyaya we're talking about vati. Vati. 5, 1, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 6, 1, 1, 7. So 5. This is the fifth section. 5, 1, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 6, 1, 1, 7. So 5, 1, 1, 1, 5 is tena tulyam kriya ched vatihi. Very famous sutram. Tena tulyam kriya ched vatihi means jagat sapnavad vartate. This world exists like a dream. Sapnavat vartate jagat. Like a brahmanavad acharati or kshatriyavad. Ashwavad dhavati. Ashwavad dhavati. He runs like a horse. So things like that, So, so that is a important pratyaya called vatihi. Not, of course, anubandha lope vat, but not to be confused with the matup, which becomes vatup, but that is not an amvyayam. That's a possessive affix like bhagavat. That will not create an avyayam. So this is the pratyaya vati. It's an adverb, Now in the next two sutras also talk about vati, but you can look at that also briefly. The 5.1.1.1.6 means tatra tasya iva. Tatra tasya iva. So something in one place is like that, something in another place. Says Mathurayam iva, Mathuravat srigne prakaraha. So this prior sutra we talk about being an adverb, but this is tatra iva. So Mathurayam iva, like in Mathura. Srigne prakaraha, Mathuravat. So the walls, surrounding walls in Srigna are like those in Mathura. Mathurayam. So then we can also say tasya iva. So devadattasya iva, devadattavat yajnadattasya gavaha. the cows of Yajnadatta are like those of Devadatta. You can say Devadatta Vat. So that's in the Shashti sense. So this is also another use of Vati, less common, but also it's possible. So this is another one. Is this next one? We won't go detail that. We're taking into. So there's one more sutram below, which is even less common, but it's used also. Tadarham. So these three. If you want, you can look at on your own. This one, Tadarham. So if you want, let's take a look at it briefly. 5, 4. There are only these three: 5, 1, 115, 116, 117. So 115 was the adverb. 116 when something or someone's is like someone else's or in someone else. So like in Mathura, then another place Mathura vat Srigne Prakaraha. Devadatta vat Yajnadattasya Gavaha. 5111 is the last one over here. 51117. Just look at 51117. 117. And then it says Kshatriyavat Rajanam Arhati, deserving for a king. Rajavat Palanam. So this is 51117. Is one who deserves that. So fitting for a king. So fitting for a king. So Rajavat Palanam. This is protection. That would be fitting. That would be fitting for a king. So Rajanam Arhati Rajavat Palanam. Brahmanavat Kshatriyavat. So that which is befitting for. So this also you can form word like Yathavat and so on from this. Vidhivat, Yathavat. So befitting for a Vidhi is Vidhivat. So this also is a sutram which is used. So 51115, 116, 117. Again, we're not doing all details in the class right now. If you want to look up some more details, you can look at these three. But the important point right now is that they create an avyayam. That's the important point. The last one is a very small one, which is the na pratyaha and the naya pratyaha. One sutram here, 5 to 27. Vi naibhyam na nayo na saha. Na saha means without. The sense of without. This vi and nai. Nai means anuvandalope na. Can take the pratyaya na and nai. Vina and nana. So vina is comes in Gita many places. Vina. It comes in chapter 18. Natadasti prithivyam va divideveshu va punaha. Sattam prakriti jayarguruktam yadevis syati virganaihi. I think this habit, I'm sorry to give a bad example for you. Let me see. Maybe I'll give you a bad example. 18, chapter 18. No, not this. Sorry, this is a bad example. This not one. Not this one. Sorry, excuse me. But there's one here. I can give you one from here. Vina. Yeah, here. The Parantapa, Vina, Vyasanya, Vina. Yeah, here comes in Gita. Natadasti Vina Yatsyan Maya Bhutam Characharam. Chapter 10. Take this one. Sorry, but that's not the earlier one. Take this one. Chapter 10, 39. Natadasti Vina Yatsyat Maya Bhutam Characharam. So there's nothing which exists, moving or unmoving, which is without me, which can be without me. So Vina is without her. This takes, so Vina, Maya Vina, so without. So in this word Nana also has a few meanings. So Nana Shabdasya Nana Arthaha. The word Nana has a variety of meanings. One of the meanings can also be without. Without or variously. Nana can be variously also. So this just, so word Vina and Nana. So V plus Na Pratyaha, Na plus Nai Pratyaha. That Nai makes it into Na because of the Sutram Acho Niti. Nai makes it into Na. I think you have to use the 72117 11115 Acho Niti. So Na plus Nai become Nana. Nana. That Na becomes Na by Vruddhi. Acho Niti because the Pratyaya Nai has this Chavarga Panchama as an Itta. So anyway, Vina and Nana is the last category of this Tadita Pratyaha, which get the Avyasanya. One more time, we walk you through this for the rest of your life. Tadita Prakaranam. This is a 6th section which gives Avyayani. And they are as follows, which is from 537 to 534 5340, up to that, before that, 5346, really speaking. And then comes the 5442 to 5467 from Shas, etc. And then comes the and Amu, after which is on Chandasi, Amu is the one we talked about, Uchchai, Staram, Sutaram, Nitaram, Pachititaram. Then come Krutva Such, and the meaning of Krutva Such, which is Dvihi, Trihi, Sakrit, Panchakritvaha, Shastakritvaha. So these are pratyaya being used. Then we saw this Vati Pratyaha. So he says that Ashwavad Dhavati and so on. Also saw in two more meanings also we saw. Then Vina and Nanaham, 5 to 27. So that ends with important categories, out of which the first category is by far the most important, the first category of them. This one Tadhita, this was Tadhitas now. So we got two more sutras here from talks about Krudanta forms. Krudanta. Krut means what? Krud a thing. 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 3193. So from Dhatoho, in this Dhato Adhikara, we already studied this sutram already. We've already seen this sutram. We studied this sutram. Krut Pratyaya, one which is not thing. In this Dhato Adhikara. So some of them create again get an Avya Sanya. Of course, any Krut Pratyaya which is added, the Krut Pratyaya Samasascha get the Pradipadika Sanya, but some of them can create an Avyayam. Which are these now? Kunme Jantaha. So Krut Pratyaya, which is ending in a Makara or an age, Eonga Yoj. You can create an Avyayam, the creation of Avyayam. Now, the one ending in H are only in the Vedaha. So don't have to worry about the H for time being for us. Only Makaranta only are left. The Makaranta is this Namul, Kamul, Khamui, and Tumun, out of which the Tumun is the most common one, Tumun. These others, you can, Namul is I think used in Gita one or two places, comes in chapters, much less common than the Tumun. So for the time being, you can focus on the Tumun itself. That's a common pratyaya. We'll talk about that here. I think in the chapter 2, you have this Rasavarjam Rasopyasya. Rasavarjam. That's one example of Namul in Gita. For example, in Gita of Namul pratyaya. But we won't go in details today. Jhata Vishayan Pumsaha. Rasavarjam. This one. Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Denaha. Rasavarjam Rasopyasya. Param Drishtva Nivartate. Rasavarjam. This comes from the Sutram Dvitiyayancha. Not a very common form, so we won't look in detail today. But it does come, once in a while, here and there you might see it. But they create mostly adverbs. And beginning of 3.4, there are a bunch of rules for this Namul Pratyaya, but it is not that common. The one that you want to focus on is the Pratyaya Tumun. But in any case, let me give you the section for Namul. Namul is going from basically 3.4.22 to, there are a lot of sutras here, but unfortunately not used that common at all. So 22 to 24, again 26 up to 58. So this is 3.4. 3.4, 22, 23, 24. Again from 26 to 58. So a lot of sutras, but not a very common usage. And the one that I said, as I can think of in Gita, really only one right now, and that is the Vitiyayancha, which is 53. 53. You can look at it if you want, Vitiyayancha. But let's talk about the Tumun. Now that is a common one, Tumun. Tumun comes, the difficulty of Tumun comes in 2-3 different meanings. Okay, let's look at briefly with that. The first one is Kriyayam Kriyarthayam. When you do one action for the sake of doing another action. For example, you say like Patitum Agachati. He comes here to study. So the action of coming is done specifically to facilitate the action of studying or reading. So when that is the case, when such an action is there as Upapadam, So kriyayam, kriyarthayam. When you have a kriyartha kriya, which is there, then the other action will take tumun. Like agachati, he is coming. That's the kriyartha kriya. It is a kriya whose artha, prayojanam, is another kriya. That's the agamana kriya. Agachati. Then pachitum agachati. So the purpose for which this action is done, that action takes tumun. So pachitum agachati. So bhoktum rajati. He goes to eat, to find something to eat. So bhoktum rajati. So that's one meaning of tumul. So kriya artha kriya, which when such a kriya is there around, then the sake of which it is being done, that will take tumun. That's 3:10. Tumun valau kriyayam kriyarthayam. So nul can also be used, but tumun will create the avyayam. Tumun creates the avyayam. So this is the most common makaranta krit pratyaya which creates the avyayam. So bhoktum rajati, pachitum agachyati, etc. Now, this is only one usage now. Now there is also sutram in later on 3.3, which is come in samana kratikeshu tumun. Samana kratikeshu tumun. That when you desire something for yourself, that one will be sama, this one, 3.3.158. Am gantum ichchami. So when you have a verb, the sense of desiring something, and the thing which you desire, that will take the tumun pratyaya. Yes, let's look at the udarana stuchi. Let's see here. Saman kritapurvakale, this one. Saman kritakeshu tumun. This one we say that, for example, ichchartheshu dhatushu saman kritakeshu upapadeshu. So when you have a dhatu in the sense of desiring, so this has the dhatu ish, it can be in the same meaning. So vanchati gantum, he wants to go. Gantum vanchati. When you desire something for yourself, but samana for the same karta. In that case, tumun will be used. So when the ichataka dhatu is being used in connection with that, tumun can be used with the other dhatu. So you can say vanchati bhoktum, he wants to eat. So kamayate bhoktum, again this kamayate, vanchati, ichchati, in the same meaning of ichcha. This is 3.3.158. Saman kritikeshu tumun. So when you desire something, so dashtum ichchami te rupam, Bhagavad Gita. Dashtum ichchami te rupam. Aishwaram purushottam. I want to see your form. Dashtum ichchami. I want to see your form. So jnatum ichchami. I want to know. Jnatum. The last one is 3.4.65. So these are three places. So the thing which is difficult about tumun is that these are three sutras in three different places. Because we talked about this 3.3.10, then we talked about the 3.3.158 just now. The last one is 3.4.65 is the main one. So that is why in three different places. Because of the topics are like that, it only fits those in three different places. So this says in connection with these dhatus, shaka, drisha, nya, gla, ghata, rabha, labha, krama, saha, arha, astyartheshu tumun. So in the sense of these dhatu, like when we say shaknoti, have just sodhum shaknoti, gantum shaknoti, patitum shaknoti, dhatu shak comes in Gita. So shaknoti. So it comes in here. Bhaktya tunanya shakya, dhatu shakya. Aham evam vidorjana, jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha prantapa. So jnatum drashtum praveshtum shakyaha. Similarly, you can say like rabha. So vaktum arabate. He starts speaking. Vaktum arabate. Vaktum janati. Ayam balakaha vaktum janati. He knows how to speak. Then vaktum arhasi. Vaktum arhasya sheshan comes in Gita. Divya chapter 10. Vaktum arhasi. You deserve to speak. You ought to speak. This set of dhatus here, look at it in detail if you can. 3465 in connection with which tumun can be used with other dhatu. So shaknoti drashtum, shaknoti pachitum, janati bhoktum, so on, arhati, arhasi vaktum comes in Gita. So these three tumun. So one more time, krunme jantaha, sutram is krut pratyaya ending in a h. It's only in the Veda. Ending in a makaraha. Are these four: namul, kamul, kamuni, tumun. Namul is seen once in a while, quite rare. These two are almost never seen. And tumun, we have given three rules. That's 3-3-10. Gantum, so it says pratitum agacchati. So kriyayam kriyarthayam. You do one action for the sake of another action. Then when you desire to do an action, the same doer. So aham gantum ichchami. Then also a set of dhatus like shaka, etc. With those, the 3-4-65, also tumin can be used. So pashnut pratitum shaknoti, arabate, janati, arhasi, etc. And the last one for today is, so that creates an avyam. This tumun will create an avyam, krunme jantaha. So krunme jantaha is basically, tumun is the most important, krunme jantaha. Last one for today is this pratyaya, which is the ktva tosun kasunaha. This is a krut pratyayaha. Tva, tosun and kasun. Now tosun and kasun come only in the Vedas. Only ktva. And we have seen many examples through the homework that you've been getting every day. Pratyaktva. Pratyaktva. Samana pratyakayoho purva kale. Means when the same doer does two actions, in the prior action we'll take pratyaktva, which you have seen many times. So just very briefly, because I've given many examples in the homework. So bhuktva vrajati. Having eaten, he goes. Natva vrajati. Having taken a bath, he goes, and so on. Of course, as you know, also to your homeworks is by 7-137. If any samasa is done, then ktva becomes lyap. Comes in Gita. Chedgatvan nivartante tadhama paramam mama. I think comes in Gita in two places. I think chapter 8, chapter 15, I believe. So yadgatvan gatva nivartante. Having gone where they don't. So very common pratyaha. Pratyaktva. Tva becomes lyap in a compounding. And you've got many examples in the homework, so you won't go again in detail here. So samana krityakayoho purva kale has to be the same karta doing two actions, and his prior action will take the pratyaktva. So then tva will become lyap by 7-137 in a compound. Gita example is, again, thanks to Radha for this document. He says, yes, param bhuya pravakshyami jnananam jnanamuttamam yajñatva, having known which, munaya sarve param siddhimito gataha. So having known this principle, this knowledge, the rishis have gone to perfection, supreme perfection. So having known, they went. So this is what is here. No, sorry, we need one more sutram. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Which is the avyebhava samasa. Avyebhavascha. One more sutram. I'm sorry. Avyebhavascha. Avyebhavascha is a kind of compound. We have not studied compounds right now. But when we do study compounds, please make a note of it. That is avyebhava compound, which is the sutras are from 216 to 2121. All these rules over here, they create an avyebhava compound. And avyebhava is a pratyaya chvi, right? Avye, in the word avyebhava. In the word avyebhava, the pratyaya chvi has been used. Avyayi bhava. So anavyayam, avyayam bhavati. We should not an avyayam because an avyayam. So maybe we should not an avyayam becomes an avyayam. That will create an, so these avyebhava compounds, they get the avyaya sanya. So they are from 216 to 2121. We have not done compounds yet, so we will not be able to look at them in more detail. Please make a note of it. When we study compounds, you can look at these, but in the Wednesday class right now, we are doing compounds in detail. If you want to study compounds, you can also download those or join the class. Give you a quick example, Yatha Shakti. yatha vidhi. So yatha shakti, yatha vidhi. So here what happens is that, so this Sutran 216 is used, without going into many details, to form these kind of compounds among many others. So Shakti Manatikramya. Yatha Shakti means as per ability. Yatha Vidhi means as per the injunctions. So and so on. So here Shakti, when Yatha Shakti went to the Avyabhava compound, it means Shakti Manatikramya, not going beyond your ability. Not going beyond your ability, Yatha Shakti. Not going beyond, not transgressing your ability, not transgressing the injunctions, Yatha Vidhi. So this gets the Avya Sanya, then Avya Rapsupaha Supluk. So this is the Avya Bhava Samasa from 216 to 2121, if you want to look it up. But an example for you, quickly example is Yatha Shakti, Yatha Vidhi from by 216. And of course the last thing we already talked about, Avya Rapsupaha, been using it all the time, is falling in Avyam. So you get the sup, the three pratyaya aap, which are not done right now, so don't worry about the aap for the time being, because aap is three pratyaya, which you have not studied yet in detail. But the sup pratyaya takes look home. That's the most important operation for us right now. That's not the only one. There will be others. When Panini says use only after an avyam, do something like that. But this one right now is immediate application. In fact, this is how you spot an avyam. Because supluk. You see about yatha shakti, yatha vidhi, kartum, gatva, bhoktum, panchakritvaha, yada, tada, kada, tataha, yataha, yatra, tatra, vina, nana, purastat, adastat, adaha, puraha, parataha. There's no sup after that. Sup means has taken look. So that's how you know that this could be an avyam. Avyad apsupaha, vidhi sutram, avyad vihitaha, tasya apaha, supascha luk bhavati. There's also one famous verse, and this what happens is that then he says Sadrisham Trishu Lingeshu, the same form in all genders, in three genders. Sarvasucha Vibhaktishu, in all vibhaktis. Vachaneshu cha sarveshu, in all numbers. Yanna Vyeti, it doesn't change. Tadavyayam. Sadrisham means same, similar. Trishu Lingeshu, same form in all genders. Sarvasucha Vibhaktishu, in all vibhaktis. Vachaneshu cha yanna vyeti. Vyeti means V-A-T, it doesn't transform. Tadavyayam. So this is because of Avya Rapsupaha. The sup takes, no matter what sup you're going to take look, and no angakaryam also can be done. Nalumata angasya. So that's why it keeps the same form everywhere. So this is the shloka. So again, so this is the two lessons for Avya Prakaranam. We a little bit, I hope you got at least the gist of it that you got, I hope. And so here we have this 1137 to 1141. Remember this section. Sadadinipatam avyayam, saditascha sarvabhakti, krunme jantaha, tvatosum kasanaha, avye bhavascha. And these are the Sanya Sutrani and Avya Rapsupaha. Good reference. I mentioned in the last class, a very good book you should have, Avya Koshaha by the Madras or the Chennai Sanskrit College, Sanskrit Education Society in Chennai. It costs only $1 or $2. Please buy it. Please use it. In the brackets, he will give there by which sutram it's getting the Avya Sanya for every avyam. It's a very nice book, so please buy it. Also, the Bhaymi Vyakhya, Volume 1, at the end, very nice Avya Prakaranam. Also, at the back of Volume 1 of Bhaymi Vyakhya, we have a Avya Suchi. A very, very useful Avya Suchi. Very nice examples, of course, and beautifully done reference books. So next time, we start Tinganta Prakaranam. Verbs. How it is, it's going to be like a new topic for us. So please, if you can follow that for the next year and a half or so. We're talking about the verbal forms, like bhavati, gacchati, bhavatu, gacchatu. And that will take us to the top of the Vyakaranam hill, so to speak. It gets to the halfway mark. After we take the Tinganta Prakaranam, you will be able to pretty much go the rest on your own with some little help, So from next class, we start Tinganta Prakaranam from the next class. So today we finished the Avya Prakaranam. Today again is April time from 2011, Prathama Bhagaha, 2:30 to 4. And I guess let's do the Mangalacharanam. We'll come back in 15 minutes for the Ramayanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Pramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishatarachamo Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramascha Dasosmyaham Rame chitrayastada bhautame bho Rama mamuddhara. Rama rameti rameti rame rame manorame sahasranama tattulyam Rama nama varanane. Shri Rama nama Om Namah. Are we okay, Masu?
Yeah.
Ravi, we okay, Ravi?